This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. We are discussing about SQL commands. Now we had seen DDL commands and DML commands. And let me open SQL Server. Let me go to Start, SSMS, and choose Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio and click on it. It will open SQL Server Management Studio called as SSMS and server name to be entered and click on connect. Okay. Now make sure that you're pointing to database engineer, to database engine, and server name is what? Dot local SQL server. Otherwise, whatever be the computer name that you can give it there. Click on connect. So dot means what? Local SQL server default instance. So this I clearly spoken in the second video. Make sure you watch the video and take the notes. And yesterday's video been uploaded. You download that video, guys. Okay. So when you expand it, so it will be like this. When you expand it, you will be able to find out databases, and whatever be the database that you are working on, you can just open that and double click on this. You will find your tables. Clear? And always you can click on new query if you wanted to write something new. If you wanted to write something new, you always click on this and you can switch on and you can switch off. Okay, you will get more space. You can go to Object Explorer, you can switch on. Clear? It will be there. If you close this, you can go to View menu and always Object Explorer or press F8. When you press F8, automatically Object Explorer comes. So you can open this, you can switch off, you can hide. Okay, you can hide this, you can close this. Okay, so whatever you wanted to do it, you can do it. So if you can hide, you'll get more space. Clear? So you can click on the new query window. This is how you should be able to work with this. Now I wanted to go to my file, and under recent files, I should be able to open my file. Clear? Make sure you execute this command because you wanted to create everything in the company database. Now make sure you're pointing to the same thing. Now that's very, very important. Now we know how to create a database. We had seen how to, create tables and how to get the schema of the table. Schema means I told you internal parts, right? Like that. Whenever you create a database, we can also see schema of the database. Schema means internal parts. Schema of the database. The syntax is the command is this. Okay. So sp underscore help db and the database name. So what is the database name? Database name is called company. So I wanted to know what are the internal parts of this database. So everything is made up of something, right? For example, your body is made up of something. You have a heart is made up of something. If you have a liver is made up of something. When you open and see what is there inside it, so you should be able to find out a lot of things, right? I wanted to know what are the internal parts of company database. Let me execute it. So we know this database size is 16 MB as of now, and which is created on December 29th. Status is online, and the compatibility is 150. Okay, what is the meaning of compatibility? And let me tell you what is a compatibility. Compatibility means if you create a database in SQL Server 2019, the compatibility is 150. What is the previous version? Previous version is 2017. If you create some database here, it will be 140. Clear? So like that, you will come to know what is the compatibility. Compatibility means, so in which version this database is being created. So this version is, so then we had a 2016, that is 130. Then we had what? 2014, right? So we had 120 like that. We had a 2012. Okay, there 110. So then we had SQL Server 20 2008 R2. R2 means released to, this is released in 2010. Okay, so here the compatibility is 100. So now I have a database called ibank database. If you see carefully, there is a database called ibank database. Now instead of company, I give ibank. Let me execute and show you what is the compatibility. Compatibility is 100. That means it is very old database. So, which is created in 2010 and the version is 2008 R2. Okay, this is not the database created in this version. The compatibility is what? 100. Clear? So like that, you should know what are the compatibility of this database. Clear? So sp underscore help, table name will give you table details. Sp underscore help db will give you the database details. Now every database will have two files, I told you, right? One is called .mdf and the path is here. The second file is called .ldf. Clear? And what is the size of the file and everything you will let you know. That's it. So database is made up of two things. What is that? MDF and LDF. MDF means data file, LDF means log file. So that's what you should know. The same information is available in this command. Am I clear? And what is the size of the database that you can have it? Clear, guys? So this is how you should be able to get the things done. Now, let me go and verify what are the, the next things. Let me, yesterday we were talking about, transactions as well. So what is a commit? What is a rollback? So all of them we were talking about. And today, so these are the things we had seen: commit and rollback. And save point, we'll see them later. Now, so grant, deny, revoke, we are not at all using. Am I clear? So creating, altering, we are doing it. I wanted to create today one more table. Let us say employee table. I wanted to create. Clear? So create a table. Create a table. Create a table. Table name emp. Now you need to provide the columns in this table, right? So what is the create table name? So employee ID, which is integer primary key. Okay. So make sure that you do this in this weekend, okay, without fail. So happy New Year, guys. Welcome to 2021. So tomorrow no class, okay? So remember that point. Then you can say employee name, okay? Or you can say name, whatever you wanted to have it. So varchar 100 and use a tab. Don't use a space. Space will give you a lot of, small places. Make sure you're clicking on tab. Okay. So, and varchar 100 tab and say not space null at the end. You put comma. Many people will forget this and many people will combine this. Okay. And don't ask me without, seeing the video once again. Don't ping me. So many people, what mistake they do is that they will create like this, or they will give employee space name. Employee space name will not work because column name, table name should not have any kind of a spaces, right? So it is very, very dangerous. If you wanted to give two names means without space, or you can use like this, okay? Or you can use like this. That will be the better thing. So primary space key at the end comma. Clear, not space null. Where care. If you write where space care, then gone. Clear, it is gone. So all these things carefully you need to observe. what I'm writing, what I'm doing. Clear? So integer varchar 100, primary key not null, and salary of the employee. Salary is what? Money, and which is also not null. Not null means compulsorily you need to fill in the data. Gender, okay, gender is character 1 because it is either M or F, not null. I wanted to have a check constraint, okay, so you need to write check and write expression and put comma. So here also I wanted to write, so before the comma, prior to that, okay, so you need to write check expression. What is the expression? Column name greater than 0. What is the meaning? This should not allow negative numbers. Salary cannot be negative, right? So if somebody enters a wrong data, this check constraint will give you an error. Now, gender column. So the column name you should take it. What is the check constraint? Gender could be either male or gender could be either female. Okay, so you cannot have anything else. So either male or female or male. Okay, so gender could be either male or female. So this is what is called a check constraint that you can create if you wanted to create. Clear? So it is a primary key, will not allow duplicate numbers in this column. So money cannot be negative, and gender and can be either male or female. So everything you can define here, or after creating a table also you should be able to define the check constraints there as well. Clear? So gender male female. Now I wanted to know what is his date of birth. So this is a date time column for us and not null. So if you wanted to say age greater than, uh, age greater than, let us say, 21 and less than 60 years, right? If you wanted to have that kind of a check constraint, you can give it, because I don't want to give the complex check constraint now, but we will learn later how to define the age, because using the date and time, I would like to calculate what is the age. Age must be greater than 21 and less than 60. I wanted to specify. If you enter the date of birth is, let us say 12, 17 or 15, 20, 1990 you're supposed to enter, but somebody entered, 1590. What is the age of this person? It is 400 years old. It will give you, it will throw an error, right? So I wanted to make sure that kind of a things, but make sure end of the row you should give comma. Clear? So this is how check constraints can be given. Check and expression. Check and expression. This is how you can give, right? If you wanted to give an expression, so this is how you can give check and what expression. If you wanted to give default values, default and value, primary key. If you wanted to give identity, so identity, so primary key space identity. If you wanted to have foreign key, now you can say foreign key references table, because foreign key has to refer some primary key table, right? So all of them you can give in this as well. So date of birth, gender, and what is the phone number? Phone number is character 10. So let us say I wanted to give phone number. I'll say null, and which is a unique. What is the meaning? It is a unique key. Primary key you need to specify primary key, and for unique you can simply say unique. Okay. So if you want to specify key, it will give you an error. Okay, so there is no unique key. Simply specify unique. Unique means unique key. Remember this. Clear? So phone number is unique key. And if you wanted to give email ID, okay, email ID also we can have varchar. Let us say varchar of some 50, not more than that, and which is also unique key, and I can allow null value. So whether to allow null value, not to allow null value, you cannot decide. So who can decide? The architecting team will decide. So as a developer, you don't know whether it is a null or not null. So a document will be given to you. You have to work according to that. You cannot decide, let me make it null, let me make it not null. That is not your choice, right? A designer choice. So if there is a designer, so he will tell you there is an open window in your hall, there is an open kitchen, there is a wall there. So who's going to be deciding? It is not the labor who's doing it. So it is completely marked by the designer architect. Clear? Architect will tell you there is a pillar, there is a everything. He will decide whether should use 100 or 1 or 10 or 50. It is not your this one. For example, you're working for airport construction. Do you have your own pillar size, or do you follow a design document there? So you cannot, create that this pillar size is 150, centimeters or 150 meters. So that design, the sizes, lengths, everything will be there in the document. You are simply have to go there and construct the airport. Clear? You cannot increase or decrease anything there. So since a training, I'm just making this, but in the real time, you will be given clear-cut document. What is the table name? They'll tell you. What is the column name? They'll tell you. And what is the data type? They'll tell you. What is the size? They'll tell you. What is the primary key? Check consent. Everything will be in the document. You take the document, create it according to that only. You cannot decide, so let me mark it as 100, let me change this to n varchar. No, you don't have any choice at all. You have to follow the documentation given by the architect, right? So requirement phase is first. Then after requirement, what we do normally, we do the analysis and the designing. Clear? For example, you wanted to construct an house. So what you do? You give your requirements to somebody else, right? So say that I need one house, I need to have like this. So they will have piece of land. On top of that, you wanted to construct an house. So what you do? You give your requirements to whom? To the designer. So he will talk to you, and he will create a design document, right? So after that, what you do? You give the design document to the builder. Builder is going to construct with the help of a labor, right? So here the labor is a developer, that is you. So once the design is done of the software, what are the tables and what is the primary key, what is the foreign key, how the tables are linked, everything will be drawn in the paper. The paper is going to be submitted to you. Now developers are recruited in the company. They have to create these kind of a tables. What is the database name? What is the table name? What is the column name? Everything will be mentioning in the document. If you're constructing a house, they'll mention, right? This is the wall size, this is the pillar size, this is the slab size, this is the window, this is the curtain, this is the kitchen, and kitchen width is this much, kitchen plate this. So lot of measurements will be there. You cannot reduce, you cannot increase any measurements there. Clear? So according to that, you cannot increase, you cannot decide to change anything here. You have to consult your architect if you wanted to have any design changes. Clear? So according to your house construction, you get the requirement, you give the requirement as a customer. You are the customer, and people who are building the houses, they are the companies. They'll take your orders, right? They'll be executing your order. So they'll give you give the requirements to them, and they will have an architect will come and he will talk to you, and you supposed to give your requirements. I need a bedroom here, I need a bedroom there, I need a big hall there, I need a TV unit there, I need an open kitchen there, I wanted to have a barbecue there, I wanted to have a swimming pool in that corner, I wanted to have a car parking, I wanted to have a lawn there, I wanted to have this one, I wanted to have good ventilation, I need this, I need that. So lot of things you have to give. Clear? So these are called requirements. This is what is your requirement. So for which he is constructing a house. So you say, I wanted to construct a hotel. So the requirements are changing now. I wanted to construct a bridge, the requirements are changing. I wanted to construct an airport, the requirements will change, right? That is very, very important. Without requirement, we cannot design anything. Requirement phase, designing phase will take at least, if the airport, if you're thinking about international airport like Dubai and London, very big airports, right? So where the requirement phase will take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, because the designing is not so simple there. Clear? Multiple people will see the airport multiple times, multiple requirements will be gathered, and they after gathering the requirements, they design the architect, they design the airport. Okay, again they analyze whether this is good design, bad design, this one, that one, any modification in the design. So then the design is frozen. When the design is frozen, then the contractors and builders will come, they'll construct the airport. So that is where you people are recruited. You're constructing, you're the constructor of the database. Clear? You create tables according to the measurements given by the designers, architects. Who's the architect? People like me who know the domain knowledge very well, who know RDBMS very well. I can sit and design. These are the tables we need. These are the columns we need. These are the data we need to fill in. These are the table names. So lot of things will be decided. The length and everything will be decided. What is the primary key? What is the unique key? Everything will be decided by me. I am an architect in the company. Clear, guys? So a company will have requirement gatherer. That is one team. The second team is called architecting team, software architects. The next team is called programmers or developers. So programmers means you and me, you and the other team. And after that, the testing team will come. Testing team will execute and check whether all tables are created successfully or not. Testing. Then after that, you release the software to the client. Clear? After airport construction, what you do? You release, you give the airport to the government of Dubai, then you leave. Then afterwards, maintenance people are going to be there. They are going to be maintaining the airport. So afterwards, after you release the software, there is a maintenance. Clear? So cleaning, housekeeping, reconstruction or modification, or if you have any kind of a leakages or any issues. So at least, few people have to be there to take care of the airport. So again, not all programmers have to be there. At least, at least 10-20% of the programmers will be there. Remaining people, remaining developers will be allocated to new project. Clear? And 10%, 20% will be there with the same airport to take care of the airport. That is the maintenance activity. So 24 by 7 maintenance will happen. Clear? So that is what is called production support. Production support means after giving, after the software is released, if you get any kind of an issue, if you get any kind of an issue, there has to be a technical team they will be addressing. For example, sometimes you call them, Amazon site is not working properly, it is slow. So it is in the production support, and some customer called Amazon call center. They said this page is not working clearly. So then what happens? Technically, they have to see the problem, and the technical guy who is going to be looking into that. Clear? So software development life cycle. People may ask you, what is SDLC? So people may ask you this, what is SDLC means? Software development life cycle, how the software will get developed. Phase number one, requirement phase. Okay. So all these things you should know. Requirement will be given by the company. The next one, analysis and designing phase of the software. The next one thing is called coding. Coding means construction. This is where we are going to be recruited. Then testing, testers. Okay. The next phase is called testing. So after the testing, what you do? You release the software to the company. Then afterwards, you maintain the software, right? So maintenance is also part of you know SDLC, software development life cycle. Gather the requirements, done by somebody else, designing is done by somebody else, and coding is done by you, and the testing of the software will be done by the testing team. Releasing the software will be taken care by one more team, and the maintenance is will be taken care by again developers and other people. Clear? So you are there in coding and maintenance. Clear? And testing, testers will be there, designing architects will be there, requirement gathering, a domain people who know about the domain. For example, we're talking about a banking domain. Retired bankers can gather the requirements. So in Infosys, if you think about a Wipro company, think about Accenture. So if the Accenture is getting a project from Citibank, Accenture is a technology development company, or so Accenture cannot understand banking. Accenture cannot understand insurance, right? So these are technology based companies. But how come we need to give the solution to the Citibank? So what normally, if the Citibank gives a project to Accenture or Infosys or Wipro or any Capgemini or any international companies, IBM, so IBM is a technical company. They'll have purely technical employees. But IBM company also recruits retired bankers. Okay. So IBM company recruits retired bankers. So people who have 20 years of experience in the banking industry, they all already resigned from the banking. So those people will get recruited in the IBM company, in Accenture, in Microsoft. What they do? They go to Citibank from IBM, they gather the requirements. You and me cannot know the banking completely. So if you wanted to know the banking, so people who has worked in the banking as an end user, like a banking manager, okay? So bank managers, sales executives, so bank officials, so they know about the bank in and out, right? So those people will be part of Microsoft, IBM, or a technology company, technical companies, and these people will gather the requirements. Tomorrow, I get an insurance company software to be developed. So what I do, I recruit. I means here IBM got a new contract with insurance company. So IBM does not know how insurance will work. So what we do, IBM company will recruit a retired insurance people, retired insurance officials, people who worked for insurance company for more than 15-20 years. And for those people, the IBM company will recruit. They say that we are planning to get a insurance project from so and so company. You go then require gather the requirement, what is that they need. Now these requirement gatherers will talk to architects in the IBM company. Clear? So this is what is the requirements will be taken care by the domain experts, not the technical experts. Remember this point. Domain experts will be there. Say they know in and out of banking, they know in and out of insurance, they know in and out of retail domain. For example, people who know about Amazon.com, you're a manager in Amazon.com for 20 years. Now you resigned. So technical companies will call you and they'll give you offer. In my company, you work as a requirement gatherer. You're the domain expert. Clear? You gather all the domain knowledge. So these are the domain experts. So here we should have domain knowledge plus technical knowledge you need to have, otherwise you cannot work. So I'm the guy, I am working for Amazon company past 20 years. I'm a technical guy, so I can understand in and out of Amazon.com clearly. So I'm a technical guy, so I can talk to these experts and I can convert those requirements into a designing here. Clear? So these people will give me a requirement called SRS. Okay, SRS document will be given. What do you mean by SRS document? Software requirement specification document. So what is the meaning? Software requirement specification document will be prepared. It is a big book or big MS Word document. Okay, so complete instructions without ambiguity, without confusion. For example, I need a coffee. If I ask you, I need a coffee, you are getting me a coffee, but you never asked what kind of a coffee you needed. So that means Coffee does not tell you clear cut requirement. Specifications are not so clear in the coffee. I never told you what is that I need, and you never asked me what is the clear requirement there. So that is not a requirement at all. If I'm saying a coffee, the next question, what kind of a coffee you need? Do you need cold coffee? Do you need hot coffee? Do you need Irish coffee? Do you need some Indian coffee? Do you need with sugar? You need without sugar. Do you need black coffee? Do you need coffee with milk? Do you know, do you need honey? Do you need something else? Do you need cookies? Do you need that? So these kind of requirements need to be taken clearly. So that is the meaning of specification. Software requirement specification. If they say, I need that. If you don't ask clearly, then you don't know what to write there, what to do there. And in the designing, many people cannot do the proper design. Clear? For example, if they say, I need a swimming pool, what is the size of the swimming pool, what is the depth of the swimming pool, what is the length of the swimming pool, so what is the purpose of the swimming pool, how many people are going to be using swimming pool at a time, what is the design you wanted to have. So all the requirements need to be taken at the initial phase only. You cannot write simply they need a swimming pool and this is the requirement. That is not a requirement. That is the requirement, but it is not a clear cut specification. Software requirement specification means there is no confusion. If I say coffee, I will give complete data about the coffee. He needs 500 ml of coffee, black coffee, Indian style coffee with sugar, with milk, blah blah blah. He needs the coffee to be delivered in next 30 minutes, and this is the size and this is the plat, blah blah blah. Complete details have to be given so that the chef is going to be preparing and is going to be delivering the coffee in 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Clear? So that is what is called specification. Specification means no confusion. If somebody asks, I need a pizza, what pizza, which size pizza, and when to be delivered. So a lot of things need to be asked thoroughly. Clear? So that is the meaning of specification means. Software requirement specification means each and every point will be gathered from the customer. If the customer tomorrow comes and says, I never spoken about it, you never asked about it, then you're gone. Clear? So if you're not clear, if the technical guy is not clear, again they'll go back to these people and they'll talk to them. And your requirement document does not contain some more input points about this project. Can you ask them? Can you let us know what is it this? Clear? So after that, this document is done. Based on this document, you create a designing a diagram. Clear? So always architects will not create any documents. They'll create a diagrams. So you get a diagram in the pen and paper. Now using these diagrams, so what you do in this phase, you're going to be writing a code. Clear? You get the requirement document, you see the diagram. So how is the diagram will be given, right? So this is how the building looks like. So based on the diagram only, we are going to start our coding. After coding is done, so testing people will create what is called as a test cases. So what need to be tested in this code? So test cases will be written, and based on the test cases, they are going to be executing your code and verifying step number one is good, step number two is good, step number three. For example, you prepare a coffee. Now there has to be testing. Yeah, quantity 500 ml passed, and coffee is hot. Passed. Coffee smell is bad, so it is failed. Coffee color is light, it is again bad. Sugar is not in the proper mixture, you need to add more sugar, that is also failed. So these are the test cases we need to write. So what are to be tested? Quantity, where you serving, whether the flask is cleaned flask or not, whether you have proper cup or not, saucer is there or not, all of them have to be tested, right? So somebody has to ensure everything is proper. So the taste, the smell, the coffee color, temperature, hot, quantity, lot of test cases will be there. If everything is good, that you can then only you can release. Clear? So releasing will be done. So after that, maintenance will be taken care. Clear, guys? So any software, for example, you are getting an Android app today. So requirement phase, analysis and designing phase, coding phase, testing phase, releasing phase. Then only you can see the application in the app store. You can download from the app store, otherwise not. Clear? Every software whenever you develop, so there is a model that will be followed, that is what is called SDLC, software development life cycle. People would ask you, do you know about software development life cycle? Yes, you know. So what is the meaning of this? You know how the requirement is gathered. You're a developer, you have a basic knowledge, you are not a requirement gatherer. You know what is SDLC means? Where the software, you know, preparation requirements, how the company is going to be getting requirements and all, you know, you should know. So people may ask you, do you know about SDLC, how the software is going to be developed? Do you know those requirements and analysis and design? And what is your role? What is that? Are you a tester? Are you a coding guy? Are you a designer? Who- what is that your role? Clear? So I had lot of job support given in America. Lot of students and came and they recruited as a architects. Clear? So they recruited as architects, and I was giving a lot of designing support to them. Clear, guys? And you can also become an architect, but you should know technical knowledge as well as domain knowledge also. Clear? And here purely technical knowledge, here purely testing knowledge, manual testing and selenium testing, these kind of a courses you should know. And releasing phase, there is one more team, so these people should know how to install the software. And these people, infrastructure team, networking infrastructure team people will be there. They'll maintain hardware and networking and everything, because if you want to install a software, you need to know the setup and everything, existing setup you have to verify, and these people will come and install the software, right? If you buy a laptop from HP, the people who are manufactured, so those people will not come to your home, right? For example, you bought a TV, so there is one more team is going to come, they're going to be installing, that is releasing, right? So those people will come to you, they'll fix the TV, they'll fix the home theater at your home. So the installation will be taken care by somebody else. The installation means releasing here. Clear? So after you buying a laptop, so how to release it? How to install the software? Now in Android phones and mobile iPhones, we are only installing. If it is a complicated application, you will not be able to install in your phones, right? You need to have an expert. So definitely, these guys are called releasing team, and we will be calling them as a building team. So these people are good in installation the software in the companies. Building team, the maintenance team, again you will have a developers. Coding team, where you have a developers, or we will be call them as a programmers or software engineers. Clear? Developers, programmers, whatever you want to have. So in this, so these people are called as a testers. Okay, testers are recruited. Building team engineers, testers, building team engineers. So in this again we have a devs or programmers. Devs means developers. In this, a domain experts. In this, a architects are going to be recruited there. So different phases needs different people, and a different output will come. In this phase you will be able to see SRS documents. In this phase the output would be diagram. In this phase, the output would be coding. The complete code which you have written, the code is the output of this phase. Clear? From this phase, test cases and the results, whether every test case is passed or failed. Clear? And the testers will do all the test cases results. Clear? So building team, software installation steps, deployment guides, how to install the documents and everything, those kind of manuals these people will carry. Because if you wanted to install a home theater, you should know a deployment guide or user manual, right? So those things have to be carried by these people. And the maintenance again, devs team will be taken care. So all of them you should know very well. Clear? Let me go back to my employee. Now I'm creating employee table with this employee ID unique. So this is a unique key, and email ID also unique, right? So one table can have only one primary key, but one table can have many unique keys. And phone number is unique, employee IDs, email ID is also unique. And if you have a passport number, we have a passport number of the employee that is also unique, right? So passport number is going to be containing, let us say, some 10 characters. So that is also passport number cannot be null. So that is the requirement, and it is also unique. Okay, so unique will allow one null value. So here there is a null. But here unique may be allowing one null value, but when you said not null, so that single null value also will not get allowed. Remember this point. People may ask you, primary key will not allow nulls, and it is unique. And unique key will allow one null value. But if I mention not null and unique, which is equivalent to primary key only, but there is a single difference. What is the single difference? You can have only one primary key, but you can have many unique keys. Okay, so that is the difference. And when you create a primary key, clustered index gets created. When you create a unique key, non-clustered index gets created. What is an index? What is a clustered? Why it is creating? We'll discuss them later. People may ask you, unique key will allow null. That is fine. But if I say not null and unique, will it still allow null in this column? The answer is no, because you clearly said not null. If you don't say anything, you can also write like this. If you don't say anything, that means it is a null. Okay, whether you write null or if you don't write anything here, if you don't mention anything, that means this column will allow nulls. So you can say null or you can leave as it is. That is also fine. Clear? But this column, they're saying not null. Who's deciding this? Not you. You cannot decide. So this will be decided by the architecting team only. So they will tell you this column null or not null column. You cannot decide on your own. You cannot simply write whatever you wanted to write here. If you're writing, you will be thrown out of the company next minute. You are not following the document given by these people and these people. Clear? So why it is null, you may ask them, but they will give you justification if they have a time. Why it is not null, they'll give you this justification. As of now, we don't know. Clear? So this is what. So one table can have only one primary key. One table can have many unique keys. You should not write key. If you write, you may get an error. Okay, it is giving an error. So this is unique means a unique key. This is what is called alternate keys, right? And comma, I wanted to have and which department this guy is working. So department means we have created a department table already. So department ID integer, whatever be the data type that is there, the same data type has to be there. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of issues. Clear? Integer. Then so I told you foreign key will allow null. Foreign key will allow null. Then you can say null and you mention foreign key. Okay. When you say null foreign key references. So foreign key references which table? Table name is called department table and primary key column department ID. So this is how you can define a foreign key. Now these two tables are linked. Clear? So whether it is a one-to-one, one-to-many, we don't know. But definitely you need to know the knowledge. One employee, one department will have many employees. One employee has to work for only one department. So I'm thinking that it is one to many. I'm creating this. Clear? So the primary table, that is department table, parent table. So that primary key is part of the foreign key in this. So this is the table structure. And whenever you create a primary key and foreign key, you make sure it has to be primary key or unique key here. So whatever be the data type that is there, the same data type you should have. You cannot have different one. Clear? And this is one table I wanted to create. Now show. Clear? Now you can say find the schema, find the code, what I have written, sp underscore help table name. Table name is called employee. Without quotes or without quotes, that is your issue. So you can see it is created and employee ID integer, gender character 1, salary 8 because salary is money. So what is the length that I did not specify? Money and small money. If you don't know what is the length of this, money is 8 and the precision is 9 and scale is 4. Clear? And gender is character 1 and date time I mentioned only date time which is 8 and the phone number is a 10 and email id is 50, passport number is character 10. So all the sizes integer I did not mention. And no identity column. When you come down, and one primary file group is there, one primary key, three unique keys, and everything is having a name. I did not mention name of the unique key. I did not mention name of the primary key. I did not mention name of the check constraint. I told you everybody will have a name. You have a name, your mother has a name, your home has a name, your street has a name, your colony has a name, your country has a name, your dog has a name, your pet has a name. Like that, table has a name, column has a name, primary key has a name, check constraint will have a name, unique key constraint will have a name, foreign key constraint will have a name. So what are the names? The names are here. Clear? So now we can come down the complete names here as well. Check constraint on the gender, this is the expression, this is the check constraint name, but I did not give any check constraint name here, right? So check constraint name, foreign key constraint name, primary key constraint name, and unique key constraint name. So these are the names. Passport number is unique key. And all these names are available. If somebody asks you what is the name of the constraint and how do you get it? So simply you can execute this. SP underscore help space the table name. Clear? So this is what is very, very important. I cannot, increase this. So probably I I'll use magnifier. Okay. Let me use the magnifier. So I think you should be able to understand this. Okay. So let me bring this down. So I think hope these are the names, constraint type, constraint name, a lot of things. Clear? And what are the things we have? Check constraint on the gender, foreign key, primary key, three unique keys are available, and it is clearly telling these are the indexes. What are the indexes? This portion will discuss them later. So as of now, we should know every constraint will have a name. Primary key constraint will have a name, unique key will have a name. So where exactly we're going to be using, we'll see them later. Clear, guys? And this is what we have done it. Let me close this. Control R to control plus R. Okay, I told you control CTRL and R. When you press both the keys, you will get a full window. And when you press again off window, full window, off window, off window, full window, off window, full window. Okay, you will get these windows by pressing Control and R buttons together.
Sir, is there any command to see in the results if there is anything like Control F if you are finding something?
Control F is there if you want to find something.
It will do the in the result window?
Yeah,
Because I tried few times. It looks on the top one, not on the bottom.
or you can copy that into your Excel sheet and
Yeah,
try to do it in Excel sheet.
that's what I do.
Not
But yeah.
okay. Clear? Now this is what is find out schema. Schema means what? Internal parts. This is what is called metadata. Data about data. Clear? So find out schema, or people will say metadata. Metadata means this. What is a column name? What is the column length? Blah blah blah. So phone numbers in India will be only 10 characters, right? So for example, my phone number, this is my phone number. You can have the mobile phone number in India will contain only 10. So it is for employees of India. If it is for international clients, then definitely the size is not sufficient. You need to increase. So the architect knows that the employees' mobile phone numbers are from India only will be taken. So they have given 10. If it is international clients, means you need to include the country number. What is our country number? It is +1, right? And there is a space. Like that, you need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, and for other countries you may have like this as well, right? So you may add more and more spaces. Clear, we are not adding them. So the architect clearly knows that this is for in Indian organization. So I wanted to give only this, but clearly he did not give integer in this. Have you seen clearly why he did not mention integer in this? Because I told you if I include integer, so that means if you wanted to perform arithmetical operation, so your phone number plus my phone number, can we do like that? We never do arithmetical operations on the phone numbers or the room numbers or the street numbers, right? So those are treated as characters only. So we need to include here as a character data only, because when I say char var which will take letters, symbols, special characters plus numbers as well. Clear? Phone number is not a number. So according to the mathematics, it is a number. But according to IT industry, which is a character data only. PIN code is a character data. Why? We never perform arithmetical operations plus minus into on these numbers. You never declare as a integers. Clear? That's what these people will say. Now I wanted to read the data. I wanted to see the data from the table. There is no data available. Select star from the table name. Table name is called employee. Clear? So this is my table, employee ID, employee name. So I wanted to insert the data. So how to insert the data? We know insert into employee values. Now you need to mention first employee. Let us say, let me take your names. You need to enter the data clearly.
Question.
Clear? Yeah.
If by any chance, even if we have a document and it by when we create the table we did mistake, suppose I entered instead of employee name I entered only e name, and if I want to correct it, how do I do that?
So that is where we have to talk about altering. I never discussed
Okay.
this. We'll see the alter. Okay. So I wanted to increase the data type. I wanted to increase the size. So if you wanted to do any modifications, that is where we're going to be using altering. So that we'll discuss on the Monday's class. Tomorrow no class, and Saturday, Sunday we don't have any classes, guys. And Monday will be meeting. So the next column is employee name. Let me write your names one by one. Okay. So we have Durga Prasad is one employee, and C salary is $10,000, and gender is male, and we have. So according to this, you need to give date of birth of the Durga Prasad must be given in single quotes, and Durga Prasad, let us say in 1990, October 21st. You need to follow the same format. You cannot give in different format. The format is YYY slash MM/DD. Clear? You may use slash or you may use hyphen, but give in this manner only. Either you can use like this or you can use like this, doesn't matter. But give in this format and within the quotes. If you don't give quotes, then gone. Clear? YYY slash or hyphen MM/DD. Clear? And don't ask me, sir, I have given in reverse order and it is not working. So that is your mistake. I am telling you the mistake as well. Phone number. So in single quotes, because it is a character data, let me give his phone number 90000. I am giving my phone number, something like this. Clear? So phone number is given and email ID. So let me give some. So let us say Prasad underscore something like this. He has some phone number at the rate gmail.com. Clear? So we can also do the validation here, whether email ID is having at the rate symbol or not, dot or not. Because if you don't give like this, it is not a valid email ID, right? So you can also do the validations of the email IDs. And because I'm not doing here, you need to write complex code there. So this is the Gmail ID. Then passport number. So let me give a passport number A67127. Now he is working for a department. Let me show you what is the departments I have it. So the department I'm using is this table. Department is working for technical department number 30. So this is how I should insert the data in this table. So let me execute it. Now you should be able to get this data clearly. Okay, guys. So magnify it. Let me show you how the rows got inserted. Clear? Durga Prasad, salary is $10,000. Gender, I did not mention the time, but it is showing 00 hours, 00 minutes, 00 seconds, dot 000 milliseconds. Clear? 1 second equals to 1000 milliseconds. And a phone number and email ID, passport number, and he works for department number 30, technical. Am I clear? Like that, you should be able to insert multiple values here and there. Okay, that's very, very important. Let me switch off the my magnifier. It'll, where is the magnifier? Somewhere it is gone. Okay, let me go there and insert, copy this, and you should be able to insert the next one. Okay, you keep on inserting, guys. The next employee, let us say Bhaskar Jogi, 11,000. By mistake, if I enter some K, what happens? I am, let us say, 80 born, some data but I'm giving, and the same phone number I'm giving. So can I use same phone number? Phone number is unique. And here also I made one mistake, right? And I'll give my email ID. If you enter the wrong details, Bhaskar Jogi at the rate gmail.com, my passport number should be unique, right? And I cannot have same data as Durga Prasad data. And I'm also working for department number 10. So I made lot of mistakes in this. Let me insert this data. So what happens now? You will get lot of errors. Now read this error. Unique constraint failed. Why? It is telling me it is unique constraint means same number I cannot give. Let me give a different phone number. Okay. Now let me again insert. Let me again insert. Now again what happens? Same issue. Clearly telling me insert conflicted with the check constraint. What is the check constraint? Conflict occurred where? Occurred press enter and the gender. Gender can be either male or female, but I'm giving what I'm giving as a K. K is not a, this one, it is completely wrong. So it is telling me the data did not go. If you see the table, when you press F5, you see the row did not go. This row did not gone there, did not go there. Have you seen this? Now again, I have changed this. Now let me execute it. Okay. Now I'm going to be executing. Click on execute button. Now you see the employee table, one row. Again, there's an issue, I think. So what is the other issue? It is not, now it is gone, right? Now I can go and for violation of primary key, cannot insert duplicate key object. What is that? Let me execute. Now I have Bhaskar Jogi. Now it is fine. If I execute the same row, I'll get a violation of primary key and foreign key. So make sure this is unique, this is unique, this is unique. This should have male and female. If you give a negative number, also it will not take. You need to do all these mistakes and see whether it is working or not. So this is the foreign key. Foreign key will have uh, the primary key relationships, right? So if you go to this table, you have only these values. If you give 90, it will not work. If you give you 21, it is not going to work because the existing value only will be taken. Tomorrow, you also give some wrong number in this, and it will tell you this value. For example, if I give 22, 22 is not there, right? It will fail. So you need to give the existing value only. What is the existing value means? The value which is there in the primary key table. Clear? You have to insert 10, 20 rows and you can, update phone numbers, lot of things you can do. And this is what you need to do it and save this file. Clear, guys? If you have any questions, you're welcome. Clear? So, two things I had shown you. Now you can go and refresh. Now go to your iBank, I'm sorry, company. You should be able to see two tables here. One is called employee department. Now you can see the database diagram. Right click on this, say new database diagram, and could not obtain information about this user. So this will fix it tomorrow. Tomorrow means tomorrow no class. Monday we are going to be fixing. Tomorrow, Happy New Year, guys. If you have any questions, you tell me. Welcome to 2021. Okay, if you have any questions, you let me know. You practice this without fail. Clear? Thank you, guys. Any questions? Guys,